Well, hello again, everybody, and today we're going to be playing some more Soulstorm. Yes, yes. So I know that you guys originally wanted Eldar, but I need some more time to remember the build order. I've been working at it a little bit, and they have a lot of different ones, so they're a little bit tricky. But today we're going to be playing Orcs. Orcs don't necessarily have a build order so much as they just have like a very specific opener that can be played very aggressively or very defensively. And on top of that, they're also just as micro intensive. But if there are any two races in the game that I would suggest you learn, whether they're your main or at least a pocket, it would be Orcs and Eldar. They are, the strongest races in the game, hands down. I'm not saying that, you just automatically win because you pick these races, but they definitely have an easier time against most. So, really excited to showcase this for you guys, and it's gonna be pretty crazy. So, let's get to it. Alrighty, so we're gonna be playing against an AI Imperial Guard on insane difficulty, and we're gonna be on the map Meeting of Minds. This is actually another pretty common map you'll see online. It's a good map for Orcs. It's a pretty good map for Guard in some cases. Not always. It really depends on the matchup. It's also a great map for Tau. This is probably one of the Tau's favorite maps because there's a lot of gaps in there and good cover. So if you're pretty good on your micro and scouting and everything, your fire warriors will just do really well. Also, there's just enough chokes that Vespid and Kroot can be a really good investment on this map. But for Orcs, it's also good because Storm Boys do pretty well here, depending on the matchup. Let's see, what else does good that Orcs have? Orcs are also really good at controlling choke points because everything they build is a turret. So, well, except for generators, but it opens up a little bit more possibility for you, and you can be really aggressive. But I'm going to show you their, like, more or less opener, but we're going to play the whole match out. Okay, so immediately I'm going to... Hotkeys. We're going to start with 2 Sluggas and Gretchen. We're going to get a boys hut. We're going to get a generator. Get my control group set here. So the first boy squad I'm actually going to send over here. So it's going to go from this point to the relic. The second boy squad will go... send them here. So the second boy squad will go here, here, and here. And then this boy squad will go here, here, and one out here. Okay, so we're going to send our Gretchen over there. So, immediately from the boys' hut, we're going to get Shooter Boys and a Big Mac, and we're going to send the Shooter Boys over there. Perfect. So we're going to send these guys here, here, and probably here. Now these guys are only going to take this point. So we're going to take these Gretchen. We're going to go ahead and build that. Because these guys can finish that gen. These guys can go build that LP. I don't really like having idle time on my builders, but right now there's really not much else they can do. So I want to at least get this second one built up before I start reinforcing the squad. We're not going to reinforce our Sluggas. Yeah, I just don't think it's necessary, really. Oh yeah, that's right. It's 90. It's 90 for them. Okay, so we'll have the Big Mac pop up here. Okay, so we're gonna start reinforcing that. Because by the time this finishes, we can start building this, and then we can start getting our wall banners going. Send those builders here. Okay, yeah. And so if you just right click on this, it just sets it to auto reinforce, which is pretty nice. I'm gonna put these guys on control group 5, and then I'm gonna connect the Big Mech to the squad. And we're just gonna go ahead and send them all the way up here. Let's go ahead and build a wall banner and another LP. We should probably think about a second generator and start getting these LPs upgraded, because I know for a fact that the guard AI likes to attack here. But that's really besides the point right now, isn't it? But we're gonna start getting these up. We're gonna get these LPs going. Okay, and this is a really good example. Ooh, that lag spike there. So we're just gonna start pressuring these guys a little bit. Guardsmen are pretty cheap, so they don't really care about losses, really. But there's a reason for this, for what we're doing here. So this is the... Okay. Okay, so... We're gonna just teleport this whole squad, and this is orc aggro. Like, basically, in a nutshell, this is what orc aggro looks like. And we can get this Big Mech, like, in there. So we just gotta kind of get these guys, yeah, so we're just gonna use the Big Mech here to, get that second generator going. So we're gonna go take these guys out. I'm gonna uncap that. Yeah, so we'll get these LPs going. Yeah, so as you can see here, this is like really micro intensive. So that's the thing about that's the thing about orcs though, is that you really need to make sure that your micro is pretty good here, because you know, there's just so many things going on at different times. I want to shut this down. I really don't want them to get that up, but I also want to uncap this to just kind of screw them over. Okay. And then, okay, cool. So that's done. So we're gonna get this guy out of that melee and try and get him on that builder, because we can gun down the rest of those guardsmen. And I really want to stop this LP from happening. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is also what I was talking about with, I already knew that they were going to do this, so we're going to get this second pseudo-boy squad going. We're going to get the shooting research, and then we're going to go ahead and do this. Okay, perfect. So we're getting this LP taken out. They got it up. That sucks. But we can snipe that builder. And we can start getting our big shooters, because that's really where our damage comes from. We're pretty much just gonna ignore this, really. Okay, because we can maybe get some storm boys. And basically from here, the transition just continues to be just really focusing on that map control. And yeah, okay, so we're gonna back off here a little bit. I'd rather fight them under the LP, because an LP2 is really difficult for just like regular guardsmen to deal with. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and put them in there just to kind of protect ourselves a little bit. We're gonna get our Gretchen. We're gonna evacuate our Gretchen. Let's see here. So we can get these guys out of here, and we can just keep microing them like indefinitely. And this is just something that orcs can do really well. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep doing that. So we're gonna go ahead and, yeah, I don't like banking up really, but let's see here. So, where's my pile of guns? Put that on control group 3. So we're gonna go ahead and get this next research. Oh, that priest, commissar, and whatchamajigger, wrong. But we're just gonna sit here and keep doing our thing, because right now we're in, you know, it's okay that we're taking this damage, because they can't really do anything. So we're gonna kind of try and drag them over here. Meanwhile, the Big Mech, and this is like the entire crux of the argument when it comes to like a Big Mech. Let's get these sluggers going. Let's get these sluggers going. I want to take this point entirely. I just don't want them to have that. It was a huge economic loss for us, but put these guys on 4, because we can kind of keep a. So I want to keep this guy alive. Okay, so we're gonna just try and get that builder killed, because that's a much larger loss for the guardsmen. And then we're gonna get these orcs moving in. They didn't get all the builders, so I guess it's okay. So let's just keep going. Yeah, so like I said, this is kind of like what I was talking about when I said orcs are really micro heavy. But this big mech is getting such huge value. Let's have these guys go this way and fight off these guardsmen over here. Because at this point, yeah, my big mech died. That sucks. So we'll get another one, and then we'll start getting some tank bustas. Wasn't really a good fight for me down here, but it wasn't really a good fight for me, but wasn't really a bad fight either. And this is also why you kind of want to start decapping. That's kind of what the we'll get those tank busters. Let's try and what happened to my Gretchen? Oh, I heard my Gretchen screaming, and I'm like, wait, what's happening here? Okay, so the orcs, and this is what I'm talking about when I say that orcs are just good, because their early game pressure is just so incredible. I mean, let's see here. Yeah, even the grenade launchers at this point just don't even matter. So we're gonna try and rebuild some of these. Let's get the tank buster stealth. So yeah, I'm just trying to uncap this stuff. Although I will take this point because what I can do is I can get another squad of Gretchen out here, and they can just do stupid things. So yeah, the enemy AI, their entire okay. Yeah, so their entire economy is in ruins. You know, I'm just staying back out of the range of their turrets that they have down here, because you know, once my tank busters arrive, it's basically over. So we're gonna just keep upgrading our LPs. Like I said, you know, you don't really have to worry about it because it's so costly for it's really costly for another player. You mean I need 250? Okay, whatever. I need more generators. That's what I need. Yeah, so at this point, it's just, you know, Big Mech just keeps doing Big Mech things. I just start taking all this stuff. I mean, you know, it doesn't get any more straightforward than this. There's just not a lot that they can, there's not a lot that they can do. And I mean, this is against the insane difficulty AI and etc., yada yada. So they just don't have the economy for anything. Like, they can build like a guardsman squad occasionally, but yeah, as you can see, you know, they just get mowed down by, yeah, and so they're dead. I think that was actually the last of their command squad. Let's see. Let's get some mega armor knobs.
Hello, who's there? We'll do it.
Could have swore I had another squad of Gretchen. Oh, that's right. Wrong. I forgot. Orcs have weird hotkeys. Oh, there comes that strip soul. That's such huge damage, actually. But you know, it's whatever. So we're just gonna go take this point here, and we're gonna just try and ignore their towers and whatnot. It's just not really needed. But we're gonna go ahead and get this, and then get some more generators. Start getting eco upgrade. We'll get this other. Okay. Let's get the Gretchen stealth, and then we can look into. Yeah. At this point, there's just really nothing they can do. So I'm pretty confident at this point that it's really just over. And of course, you know, we would be looking to take the point here, and then we could expand our eco, or we could go into, I don't even need to go vehicles in this, but if you do, you're gonna go war tracks. But basically, if you play the early game orc aggression right, you just kind of really, dude. Okay, that's actually stupid. All right, so let's just get all this stuff going in. And we're just gonna go in there. Let's see. So I mean, you know, I've got tank busters and all that. We'll of course I need more generators. Well, I guess at this point we'll just...
Build it right up.
Oh, not that. There we go. Yeah. So at this point, you know, we can add in some knobs. Dude, how much resources do they have? This is actually dumb. Yeah, so there we go. Perfect. Yeah, see, so like I said, this is kind of one of those races where as long as your play is good, you really will be rewarded. And there's a lot of crazy things that orcs can do, and they do very well. It's just kind of the nature of playing orcs in general. Let's see. So we'll get that. Okay, cool. And we won. Yeah, so we'll look around the map. So as you can see, like, you know, I've seen a lot of players try and put like wall banners and their vehicle bay, their vehicle factory, like right here, to create like a sort of choke, because as you're trying to plow through that, they're gonna have like shoot-a-boys or even flash gits, and they'll just keep bouncing them in and out of the building, because it's pretty much instant that you can put them in and pull them out of the building. So you can micro that really well, and your unit becomes pretty much untouchable. Like I said, orcs are definitely harder to play, and you really do need to have your hotkeys and your control groups down for this, or you're gonna find it a lot more difficult, just because of how active you need to be with orcs. Like, and I mean, you saw that I had some inactive units here and there, like maybe around here. Although keeping those shoot-a-boys is probably a good idea, just in case of any more attempted raiding, because they did hit me pretty hard all the way up to here. But like I said, it's not infinite for them. And at this point, once you get this going, you just start building the hell out of war tracks. War tracks are the greatest thing ever, especially when they have their weapon upgrade. They become very good against buildings, vehicles, and they're great at disrupting infantry. And they also do pretty good damage to light infantry. Heavy infantry, not so much, but if you're disrupting that Space Marine squad that has like a heavy bolter, well, it's doing its job. You'll get your eco upgrade, of course, as well. So you'll get your eco upgrade on your generators. You'll keep getting your wall pop going. You'll get your next shooting research and your armor. As in general with orcs, you're always going to go shooting and then armor. And then whether or not you go melee really depends on your matchup. Personally, I don't like to, but in a desperation situation, sometimes I'll bring out Storm Boys, just because, like I did earlier, because they're really good at tying things up. But if you're in a matchup against like Tau, for example, Storm Boys are like the choice. You should have at least 2 squads of Storm Boys against Tau, maybe even 3, and just go and instead of going shooting, maybe you still do go shooting, but you go shooting, armor, melee, but I don't think you upgrade shooting past that. You kind of have to play it by ear, because if the Tau get into their devilfish and barracudas, then it kind of becomes really troublesome for you. So you're going to be kind of going like Storm Boy, Big Mech for stun, and tank bustus, and that's a pretty hard composition for Tau to deal with. Although as the game progresses, you know, it's different. Against Imperial Guard, it really depends on what the guard player is doing. Like if they're kind of playing macro, then once the chimeras start rolling out, you know, they're gonna have a lot of guardsman squads, maybe even heavy weapons teams, and you know, once they start planting around like here and here, they just start doing this creeping push that's really hard to deal with, especially once they have you know, grenade launchers online. In a case like that, I highly recommend that you incorporate at least 1 squad of knobs. They're really difficult to deal with. It doesn't need to be mega armored knobs. I personally think mega armor knobs suck. They're overpriced, and it's kind of a meme. I just picked because, like, just to reinforce, it's 175, and then 2 orc pop. That's not worth it. That's super expensive for 4 models that only, you know, that cap out at, what is that, 3,600? Like, cool. And their melee, their shooting is garbage. Like, their shooting damage is high, but their accuracy is basically zilch. So I don't. But they can do some interesting things against vehicles. So they're not a horrible choice against guard, but there are better choices like tank bustas and war tracks. So just keep that in mind. Like, orcs don't really so much have a build as they do an opener, where your opener is really getting that initial squad of shooter boys with your big mech, and you just teleport them right into the enemy's face, and you start either uncapping something, or maybe you're in their base, you're blowing up generators, you're killing builders. You're just trying to do economic damage, and on this map, I find it more favorable to just hit them here and basically cut them off, you know, basically like this entire section of the map. So they are suddenly locked out of like all of this if you hit them here. Granted, like I said, 9 times out of 10 you're just going into their base and you're just going to run them over. And this is also another thing that's very difficult for Tau to deal with, because the big mech detects stealth, so stealth suits are going to have a harder time really utilizing their stealth to an advantage to kind of whittle down your units, because you know, you can just detach the big mech from the squad and just have them start body blocking and chasing them away while your shooter boys just gun their stuff down. So I hope this did help you. Just remember, 2 sluggas, Gretchen, and then Boys Hut generator. And then from there, you really want to get your economy online quickly, because you're going to be kind of hard pressed on something. I forgot to upgrade that. Rip. Because you're going to kind of be hard pressed on resources early on. So it's just about how you manage that while managing your aggression. And that's what's going to set you up to really run away with the game with orcs. Now, against an experienced player, you're probably not going to kill them with the Big Mac teleport, but if you do the damage, you're going to situate yourself in a very comfortable snowball position. And every RTS has snowballing, so just remember that. Once you start building those advantages, don't let them go. Think on how you advance not just your map state, but your military state, so that you can you're not being reactive. You are dictating what they have to build and what they have to tech into. So hope this helped you guys. I personally love playing orcs. It took me a while to learn them. So practice makes perfect. So practice a lot. You know, if you have any friends that play this game, definitely practice with and against them. Now, if it goes into end game and you get the free sluggas research for some weird reason, like if it goes that long to where you actually make that happen, slam down like 10 boys huts and just keep sending out nothing but sluggas and war tracks. Like, you will just whittle them down. It doesn't even matter if they get like a relic unit out, like they won't be able to stop it, and it's really funny. Manage that with getting a big mech and a war boss, and suddenly you just have like this infinite thing of just free slugga boys that you never need to reinforce, because they just keep building quickly from like 10 boys huts. It's great, really it is. Anyways, guys, so I hope this helps. If you need any additional advice or anything, or if you have any questions, please do let me know in the comments below, and I'll do the best I can to help you. I am by no means the best orc player on the planet, but I think that this does really showcase a general understanding of how to play orcs, because they don't necessarily have a build order so much as they have just a really solid concrete opening that sets them up to just do really whatever they want and whatever fits your play style. But also do take the map into consideration. Anyways, guys, have a great day, and y'all stay cool. Bye-bye. Get the fuck out of my house.